Good morning everybody, welcome to our all-age service this morning. We are going to start with some worship. We're going to start with probably the simplest song in the world, and Beavis is going to introduce it to us. So, yeah, please, when you're ready. Jesus' love is very wonderful, Jesus' love is very wonderful, Jesus' love is very wonderful, oh wonderful love. So high, you can't get over it, so low, you can't get under it, so wide, you can't get round it, oh wonderful love. Jesus' love is very wonderful, Jesus' love is very wonderful, Jesus' love is very wonderful, oh wonderful love. So high, you can't get over it, so low, you can't get under it, so wide, you can't get round it, oh wonderful love. Everlasting God, the years go by, but you're unchanging in this fragile world. You are the only firm foundation, always loving, always true, always merciful and good. Yesterday, today, and forever, you are the same, you never change. Yesterday, today, and forever, you are faithful, and we will trust in you. Uncreated one, you have no end and no beginning, earthly powers fade, but there is no end to your kingdom, always loving, always true, always merciful and good, so good. Yesterday, today, and forever, you are the same, you never change. Yesterday, today, and forever, you are faithful, and we will trust in you. You are Yahweh, God unchanging, Yahweh, firm foundation. You are Yahweh, God unchanging, Yahweh, firm foundation. Yesterday, today, and forever, you are the same, you never change. Yesterday, today, and forever, you are faithful, and we will trust in you. Yesterday, today, and forever, you are the same, you never change. Yesterday, today, and forever, you are faithful, and we will trust in you. We will trust in you. We will trust in you. We will trust in you.
The all-age service today is on the theme of Zacchaeus, which is a story in the Bible about a little man who went up a tree so that he could see Jesus. We're going to see some drama and a video about that in a little bit. But first, we're going to see members of the congregation answering two questions. The first is, how would you feel if Jesus was visiting you? And the second is, how would you welcome him to your home?
How would I feel? Overwhelmed, but in a good way, I think. And what would I do to welcome him? I would make Malteser tray bake.
I will be so excited. I'm sure I'll tell a lot of people Jesus is coming to my house. And welcome him. I'll mop the floor, I'll just make sure the house is, he probably won't bother about it, but I will keep the house very tight. And I'm sure I'll just be staring, gazing at him. I'm excited already, just thinking about it.
How would I feel if Jesus was coming to visit? Excited, and I would welcome him in my home by asking him to look after Rosie for a little bit. Yeah, you.
Roast potatoes.
What
vegetables we can have?
I feel like very horse-track. And the second question, I think I'll give him a bath.
So if someone told me Jesus was coming to my house, I would be freaked out and I would be thinking, oh my gosh, I need to hoover, I need to do the washing up. Yeah. I'm not ready for him to come to my house, which is silly because I'm sure he really wouldn't care about what my house looked like, and I should just be happy and concentrate on the fact he's coming to my house, and I should just be happy and excited that he's coming to my house, but secretly I'd be so stressed that he was coming to my house. And the next question is,
How would
I welcome him? How are you? I like to welcome people. When people come round, I like to make a nice big meal. So I might do my homemade roast duck and egg fried rice with pancakes.
Tiana, how would you feel if Jesus was coming to visit?
I would feel happy and excited, but also nervous because I don't know what he's going to be like.
And Ariana, how would you welcome Jesus to your house?
I would let him do anything he likes to do. This is a true story from the Bible that happened a long time ago. There was a man named Zacchaeus who was a very small man. He was also very rich because he was in charge of collecting taxes and took more money from the people than he should have. Give me my money. Give me my money. Give me my money. The people didn't like him very much. One day, news spread that Jesus was visiting Jerusalem. Yay! Hello, Jesus! Hello! Zacchaeus really wanted to see Jesus, but he didn't know if Jesus would want to see him because of the bad things he had done. Because Zacchaeus was so short, he couldn't see through the crowds, but he really wanted to see Jesus, so he climbed up a tree to see over the crowds.
Zacchaeus, come down. I want to be with you today.
Why does Jesus have to go to his house? He's a bad man.
Yeah. Zacchaeus realized that he didn't always do the right thing and that he should say sorry and be kind. I'm going to give all the money back.
I am.
Daddy,
Thank you. This is literally only a tiny bit of what I had. Yeah. I feel like Crystal's going to get everything.
Thank you, Josephine.
Crystal's going to get half of the thing.
Thank you. Today you and your family have been saved. You are not lost anymore.
Yeah.
No matter how small we are or how difficult it feels, God is there for us. All we have to do is look for him.
God's story, Zacchaeus. So part of God's story is about Zacchaeus, and it begins like this. Once there was a man named Zacchaeus, let's call him Zach, who lived in a town called Jericho. He was short, and he didn't have many friends. In fact, most people hated Zach. That's because he worked as a tax collector. See, back then people paid taxes just like now. But instead of sending money to the government, there were men in every city whose job was taking tax money from people. Problem is, those men usually lied. Zach, like most, took a lot of extra money from a lot of people, and all those people hated him. Anyway, one day Jesus came to Zach's town, and Zach wanted to see him, but so did everybody else. And remember how Zach was really short? Well, he couldn't see Jesus over everybody else's head. So guess what he did? He actually climbed up into a tree to look out over everybody. Now, imagine a grown man climbing up in a tree in the middle of a crowd. People probably thought he was crazy or weird. But Zach was willing to look weird if it meant getting closer to Jesus. From up in the tree, Zach watched as Jesus walked up. Jesus said, "Zacchaeus, hurry down. Today is my day to be a guest in your home." This was kind of like a famous person inviting themselves over, except way better. This invitation would change Zach's life. Zach scrambled down the tree to take Jesus to his house. Maybe he thought Jesus didn't know about all the money he had taken or how everybody hated him. But Jesus did know, and he loved Zach anyways. Other people saw this and they were mad. They said, "Jesus has gone into the house of a sinner." They wondered how Jesus could love somebody who had lied and stole their money. The great thing is, Jesus loves all of us, even after we've done things we deserve to get in trouble for, or even after we actually get in trouble. When we see that Jesus loves us anyway, it makes us want to show that kind of love to others. At least that's what happened to Zach. Right away, he wanted to make things right with the people he had hurt. He knew that just saying "I'm sorry" wasn't enough. So he told Jesus, "I'm going to give half of what I have to the poor, and anyone I cheated, I will pay back 4 times the amount of money I took." When Jesus saw that Zach was willing to accept his love and turn around and show it to others, he said, "My friend, today God has rescued you." And even though Zach had been a liar and a thief who was hated by everyone, he became a friend of Jesus and a part of God's family that very day. And that's the story of Zacchaeus. So, in case you missed it, here's the quick version. Zach was short. He was a tax collector. He stole money. People hated him. Jesus came to town. Zach couldn't see him. He climbed a tree. Jesus told him to come down. Jesus went to his house. Jesus loved Zach. Others were mad. Zach made things right. He became a part of God's family. And that's a part of God's story.
Morning, church. This morning's craft is about Zacchaeus, the tax collector. So I'm hoping you're going to craft along with me at home. So you're going to need a lollipop stick, some green card, some white card, some felt tips, and sellotape and scissors. Okie dokie. So we're going to start by making the top of the tree. So you only really need an A5 size of green card. And we're going to make the tree shape. It's a bit like a cloud really. So I'm going to start by drawing that. Here we go. So it's a really exciting story about Zacchaeus. I expect you've heard about it in this morning's service. Because tax collectors were not very popular. They were worse than bank managers. People really didn't like them. And Zacchaeus was not fair. He used to trick people. So he really wasn't very popular at all. So that's the shape that I've drawn. You can make it more simple really. And I'm going to now cut it out. There we go. So Zacchaeus wasn't very tall and he's just desperate to see Jesus. So he thought, what am I going to do? So he's in the crowd, he's on his tiptoes, he's like, oh. So then he sees the tree, he thinks, I'm going to climb up that tree. So that was his plan. It's pretty hard climbing up a tree. I mean, I've never really tried, but I hope you have. And it was a sycamore tree, which are massive trees. We get sycamores in this country, but I think in Bible times they were different. I think they had figs on them. They had like fruit that grew on them, which we don't have that. We have, you can see those seeds on a sycamore tree that look a bit like a helicopter. Have you ever seen those? You throw them up in the air, they go blah, 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 all the way to the ground. So they're quite fun. Okay, so just cutting this out. There we go, it's like the green cloud. So I was just going to show you what a sycamore leaf looks like. So in this country they look like that. You've probably seen them, and they on the common there's big trees of sycamore trees. So I'm going to draw one of the leaves on my tree. put the leaf there so you can see what it looks like. Oops. So, just to give the idea that this is a real tree and leaves are growing on it. What do you think? Not bad. Try another one. There we go. So, a little bit like it. So now I'm going to stick the trunk on. So the trunk is just a lollipop stick. So I'm just going to stick it to the back, in the centre, with some sellotape. So I expect Zacchaeus had a wonderful view from the top of the tree. It was peeking through the branches. He couldn't believe it when Jesus spotted him. Okay, there we go. Now the next bit is we're going to draw Zacchaeus, which, you know, he can just be a stick man. It could just be his face. I'll put my one there so you can see him. Oops. So you can get an idea. And he doesn't really need to be very big, probably about 8 centimetres by 8 centimetres. That's just the top corner of your A4. It's quite nice if his arms are outstretched, as though he's about to run down and meet Jesus. So let's have a go at drawing him. I think he should look pretty happy that Jesus has spotted him. Give him a big smiley face. He's got a beard. Everybody seems to have a beard, don't they? He doesn't have to have a beard. Big outstretched arms. I haven't seen you all for a while. I've lost track with the birthdays. I mean, we're into June now, so at least the weather's going to start getting a bit better. I was having a look. So Ivy had her birthday just the other day on the 3rd of June. So happy birthday, Ivy. And Kessia, hers is in June too. Nice to have a birthday, hopefully in a month when it'll be sunny. We can go to the park. And I'm seeing you for ages. Let me have a recap. So Poppy had her birthday on the 3rd of May. Hope she can still remember it. It's a while ago now, isn't it? And Joshua, he had his on the 17th of May. So lots of birthdays. Everyone's getting so tall and grown up. I'm going to recognise everyone when we all meet up. Okay, so he's got sandals on, Zacchaeus. He's got big open arms, ready to cuddle Jesus. There we go. That's how he's looking here. So I might give him, perhaps I'll give him a spotty outfit. And back in April, there was Natalia's birthday. And Nigel's birthday was the last day of the month, the 30th of April. Seems a while ago now. And also Adrian and Ruth Fricker, their grandson, Ezra, it was his birthday. Okay, here he is. Here's Zacchaeus. So I'm going to cut him out now. Lovely, but we can all meet up in church again, won't it? It's lovely we've had a couple of these outdoor services in the garden. I missed the last one, but the first one, I enjoyed it so much. It was such a lovely evening. And hear everyone singing, to see everyone together again, with Gemma leading us. It was really special. Okay, let's sort Zacchaeus out. I've been looking at other ways how people do Zacchaeus. Sometimes they put him on a string, so he appears out of the tree. But I think this is a bit more simple with like a lever. Okay, there he is with his arms all ready to hug Jesus. Okay, now we need to make just the, we're calling it a lever, but it's basically a strip of paper. So if you've got your A4, let's just do a strip across the whole width. Not particularly thick, probably a bit less than 2 centimetres, about 1.5 centimetres. So I'm just going to cut that out. So I suspect everyone else was quite annoyed when they realised that Jesus wanted to talk to Zacchaeus, and once he spotted him in the tree, he said, come down, Zacchaeus. And he went to his house to share some food. Okay, so to put him on the tree, we're going to just wrap round the paper. Let me just get this right. So we just fold it. There we go. So just fold it, perhaps just twice round, and then secure the back with a little bit of tape to hold it. But obviously it needs to be able to move up and down. So we don't want to do it too tight. There we go, like that. Okay. And then we're just going to stick Zacchaeus onto the lever so he can go up and down. So just put perhaps a loop of sellotape near where his feet are. You really want him to be as tall as he possibly can be standing on the lever. So right at the bottom of his feet. So I've just put it at the back like that. Now I'm just going to stick him on there. There we go. So I might just put along there, I'm going to put Zacchaeus, come down, because that's what Jesus said. If you can see that one, it's quite a difficult name to spell, isn't it? So it's 2 C's, H-A-E-U-S. Let's sit there. Not quite, no. Oh, I can't do that. I'll write it and then I'll show you. So when Zacchaeus met with Jesus, he realised all the things that he'd done wrong, and he was so sorry and full of remorse that he paid everyone back, and then he followed Jesus the rest of his life. So amazing stories. Here he is. So he can't see around the crowd. Oh, I want to see Jesus. I want to see Jesus. I'm going to climb up the tree. Oh, there we go. It's probably a bit harder to climb up the tree than that. And then Jesus sees him and says, Zacchaeus, come down, come down. I want to come to your house. So then he comes down. So I hope you enjoyed the craft. I'll see you all again soon. Bye.
Well guys, we've come to the end of our service, but hasn't it been a great all-age service this morning?
Amazing. And I don't know about you, but how would you welcome Jesus to your house? Personally, I'd ask him to sit down and say, what board game are we going to play?
I love it, I love it. So don't forget to join us next week where we'll be having a communion service. So don't forget your bread, wine or juice. Have a great week and we'll see you then. Bye guys.
Bye.